We find ourselves hidden away in a little private reading room in the Bibliothèque Nationale de France. I'm with Pascal who's the musical advisor for Les Florissants, and who has produced a new edition for all our performances of all the books of Monteverdi madrigals. But I wanted to talk to him about the originals and how we get to a new edition. And here we have in front of us, and that's why we're here in the Bibliothèque Nationale, the first edition of the part books of the fourth book, printed in 1603. So Pascal, why don't we just use these part books?
It's not so easy because the habits change, actually. At the beginning of the printed part books, which is the beginning of the 16th century, the part books were printed and not engraved. And each singer or each instrumentalist has his own part book with the music he has to perform.
So here, for example, we have the alto part, and here's the bass part,
Yes.
and here's the soprano part. And each of these singers had their own part, but they had nothing else of any of the other parts. They had no idea what the other singer was doing. I can only imagine that means that they must have rehearsed for an enormous amount of time.
Actually, we do not know how long they were rehearsing, but that's for sure they were rehearsing a very, very, very long time. And the style of life was completely different than one it is now.
So if we look at a modern edition, what do we see which we can't see here in these parts?
One striking thing in these part books is that there are no bar numbers, no bar lines, and when you start singing, if everybody starts singing his part, there is no possibility for each singer to know where he is exactly and where his colleagues are.
In relation to the other parts?
Yes, yes, in relation with the other parts. The only thing is to start again at the very beginning,
Yeah.
which is a lot of time.
You get to know the beginning very well. Certainly in our rehearsals you would do. So they must have had they must have known, had a technique to use these parts, which nowadays we've lost, and so we can no longer operate on these. So in conclusion, there must be advantages and disadvantages of making a new edition.
The advantages are the clarity of the text, the fact that every singer has the complete parts and can follow with the eyes what he's hearing from his colleagues. But the disadvantages are the loss of a contact with the original prints, which aesthetically are wonderful, completely different, and something of the music and of the time passes with these objects.
I've never ever performed in the years of doing this repertoire with part books, and certainly not with original part books. But I think that Pascal is right, that whilst this is clear and quick and very easy to use, there must be something beautiful to be had in using these original part books and being in touch so firmly with the epoch of Monteverdi.